Morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. I want to say, indeed, it's a good day, as you know, as Ria would say naturally. It's a Friday, and thank God it's Friday indeed. I want to say kudos and shout outs this morning to Carl. They got me here soon enough this morning in terms of the early flight. So we're heading straight on in to this interview this morning. And this morning we have the opportunity to be chatting with Dr. Paul Crooks. And this is World Food Day Committee member. I almost went into your other capacity there. But certainly, good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we get started this morning and we're chatting World Food Day 2023 and the calendar of events. I want you first to tell us about the launch, which just took place, at the Food Hub as part of the startup heading on into World Food Day celebrations.
Yeah, so absolutely. Thank you for having me, first of all. The media launch was actually the first of the series of events that we have planned for this year's World Food Day. I serve as in the capacity of the chairperson of the livestock subcommittee, but there is a World Food Day planning committee, and of course we're overseen by our secretary, Mrs. Pantin. But basically the idea with the World Food Day overall calendar of events is to really push education, training, and business development. This year, that is our push. So everything sort of was built around that. And our grand exhibition, as everyone would be very familiar with that exhibition as it was, we are continuing in much the same respect this year. However, we've also made a number of changes. For example, our grand exhibition this year is on the 18th and 19th of October. But it will no longer be at the Independence Parade grounds at the Dwight York Stadium. Rather, it will be at the Food Hub, right there by Shore Park. So we are inviting persons to come out to see our grand exhibition. And what they'll realize is, yes, we'll have a food court, and we'll also have the various farmers' districts with produce for sale. However, we'll have a smaller scale sales segment in our markets type display for that show. Rather, we're having separate, distinct green market events where we'll be inviting numerous vendors from all different categories in the agricultural processing market to come along and show their goods.
Right, and just so that persons don't mix up the date, that's the 18th and 19th of October.
Is the grand exhibition.
The 18th and 19th, the grand exhibition. Now, before we even get there, we understand that there's a vendor registration period. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so there are two events really that persons should be aware of coming up very soon. Firstly, there is a spoken word and poetry competition for school children. And for more information about that, you can go onto our Facebook page. You can register right there, or you can go to the office at Milshirv. And the registration deadline for this spoken word and poetry competition, which will come off on the 22nd of September, that deadline is actually Monday, Monday 11th. However, we also are calling for vendors who may want to sell products, produce, food, drinks, to come to the Milshirv office from Monday 11th September, that's this Monday coming, through Wednesday 13th September to sign up the forms. Vendors will be very familiar with the forms that they would typically fill, but because we have a series of events, the form has been revised, where people could say they want to participate in the green market in the east, in Roxborough, or they want to be part of the green market in the west, or they want to be part of the horticulture market, which is in November. Maybe they even want to come and sell milk and cheese and eggs at the Lamb Festival. So that form has been revised so persons can indicate which of those several events they would like to participate in.
And folks, normally, just as Dr. Crooks indicated, we will hear the two main days, which is the 18th and 19th of October, but you just referred to some key areas there. We spoke about the spoken word and poetry in the first instance, and there's the vendor registration for which areas you may want to be in. Tell us a little bit more about, I see here on your calendar, Farmers Green Market. There's one in the east and a Farmers Green Market in the west, and the Lamb Fest. Tell us about the distinction with those events. What will those entail?
Absolutely. So on Thursday, October 5th, 2023, in Sidgray Car Park in Roxborough, we'll be having our first Farmers Green Market. So we are reducing the scope and vision of the main event to be more focused on technology, education, and building farmers' businesses. However, we are still going to incorporate all of the green market aspect of World Food Day in several separate events. So that first green market in the east on the 5th of October, Thursday 5th of October, will include farmers selling produce, selling arts and crafts, honey, you name it.
It is like a taste of it before the two main days.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As well, on the 10th, the following week, the Tuesday, at the Food Hub at Scarborough Shore Park, we will also have a green market there for persons in the West. Now, on Sunday, October 8th, is the inaugural Tobago Lamb Festival. It's a collaboration between the Tobago Integrated Livestock Association, TADCO, the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company Limited, and the division. And at that Lamb Festival, we're going to have several caterers, local caterers, produce recipes that will be made public. People can sample new recipes and new ways of preparing lamb, and then they, by having the recipes in their possession, can feel empowered to recreate this lamb recipe at home. It is our attempt through this association and through the division and through TADCO to boost the mutton consumption market on the island.
So if you're in my position, you might be there to participate in the tasting.
Absolutely. Samples all over the place. And we're going to have actually various ways that offal will be prepared. If you want to try lamb heart, this might be the chance to do so.
All right. So I also see further to that, I want you to tell us even more. You spoke to the educational component, and I see we have happening here a 4-H gardening competition and also the horticulture show. Tell us about those two initiatives.
So the horticulture show will be sale of decorative plants. That's a segment that's very important to many members in the public and to much of the stakeholders as well. So that horticulture show and event will happen on the 7th of November. As well, we have a 4-H gardening competition for primary schools that will extend for several months, beginning in November. But there's one thing I didn't want to leave out.
Tell us about it. Which one? You're speaking to the horticulture show or the main days you're speaking to?
Yeah, okay, so that horticulture event will encapsulate all of the decorative plants, ornamental plants, and that sort of thing. And then the 4-H event is for primary schools. There was one more thing I was going to touch on, but it's all right. It slipped me.
So we have a full lineup happening here for World Food Day. What is the theme that World Food Day is being guided by this time around for 2023?
So the theme this year is water is food, water is life. Leave no one behind. So basically we are looking at the changing, as far as our planning committee, we're looking at being dynamic, changing, rippling, flowing out. So that's why we're changing the series of events that we have. And we are leaving no one behind because we're having these various events all throughout the months. I remembered what I wanted to talk about. All throughout the months.
Just in time.
Just in time. We're having these series of events to make sure we encapsulate every person on the island. And the last thing I wanted to mention was the seminar series. Throughout the months, from this month right through to November and even beyond, we will be doing a number of seminars, training programs for farmers. There will be targeted marketing, as well as these seminars will be posted on Facebook, Instagram. So if you follow us, you can keep in touch in that way. But extension officers will reach out to persons who may be interested in these special seminars and training sessions to invite them along.
Certainly, and you know, over the years we've been hearing about the World Food Day celebrations, and we must certainly say congratulations and kudos going out to the planning committee, because this is indeed a full lineup of activities over the period October into November, and in some instances, activities starting from as early as September. Any other key information you'd want to share with us before we go?
One last thing. So it's not included on the calendar of events, but as part of our World Food Day, we are having special livestock competitions, brand new competitions. So we're actually having the blue ribbon competition for purebred animals to be displayed. That's a standard thing. But actually this year, to deal with inequality, we are actually featuring women farmers and junior farmers in a special video essay competition, so that farmers between the age of 18 and 30 or women farmers at any age can produce a video where they describe the challenges they faced in farming, livestock agriculture, how they overcame those challenges, and why they have the passion for livestock agriculture. As well, we're asking persons to design housing, including new technology and housing designs that are fit for the Tobago climate. And we're asking persons to submit those designs for a handsome prize to help them build and realize their visions.
Excellent. Certainly a number of activities taking place. And feel free to connect contact information for persons who wish to follow up in relation to the listing that you've mentioned this morning, the calendar of events.
So for more information, you can call the Milshirv office of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development at 639-4616. For livestock farmers, please WhatsApp or call me personally, Paul Crooks, at 383-4451.
All right, certainly. And if we could just pull back up that calendar quickly on screen as a reminder to you folks, it's not just about 2 main days this year. It's the calendar of events, World Food Day, Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Got started with the media launch on the 7th. Vendor registration takes place at Milshirv over the period the 11th to the 13th of September 2023. This seminar series will run from September to October. Again, an addition to the lineup. Spoken word and poetry takes place at the Shore Park Food Hub on the 22nd of September at 10 a.m. There's now the follow-up. You got additional days. You know, normally we say the 2 days, time ran out, and I'm wondering if I could still get stuff. You've got a Farmers Green Market in the East on the 5th of October, Lamb Fest at the Shore Park Food Hub on the 8th of October, and Farmers Green Market on the 10th of October before they head into World Food Day. That's the two main days. Grand 2-day exhibition on the 18th and 19th of October 2023, and it's not at the parade grounds this year. It's taking place at the Shore Park Food Hub on the 18th and 19th of October, and then they head on to the Horticulture Show on the 7th of November and the 4-H gardening competition for primary schools that will take place. So certainly activities to keep persons going for the entire period. Kudos and commendations for the growth and development as we're seeing in terms of our World Food Day celebrations. So thank you very much again, Dr. Paul Crooks, a World Food Day committee member, for joining us here on set to share information about the upcoming activities for World Food Day. Viewers, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. And at this point, I invite Dr. Crooks, as we send them out to the break, to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.